Hello, this is your weekly tech news roundup for the week of November 23rd. We've got a lot to cover from major software updates to gadget launches. We've also got some big news in AI and some surprising tech glitches. Let's dive into the most important and interesting stories of the week. On the OS and device updates front, Google rolled out its new Pixel feature drops, packed with perks for Pixel users. A big highlight is the new power saving mode in Google Maps. On the Pixel Series 10, tapping the power button during navigation can switch it to a black and white scene, saving up to 4 hours of battery life. The Pixel drop also introduced notification summaries, so you can get the gist without scrolling through hundreds of messages. Additionally, Google expanded its scam call and messaging detection to more countries and languages. Pixel users can even set people as VIPs to prioritize their messages, which will now show crisis alert badges and widgets for urgent situations. Rounding out the pack were some fun additions like the limited edition Wicked theme pack. They also rolled out a notification organizer to silence out less important pings, and an on-device call notes AI helper that can transcribe calls in real time. Google is really leaning into AI to help make everyday tasks easier. On the Apple front, there was no major iOS or macOS updates during this week, but there was an Apple Silicon rumor that made waves. An analyst predicts that Intel might be manufacturing Apple's low-end M-series chips by 2027, suggesting that Apple could tap into Intel's Foundry for future Macs. That's a switch up after Apple moved away from Intel CPUs. One Windows 11 update that was in late October and early November turned out to be laggy for certain PC games. This week, Nvidia confirmed that this Windows update was causing bad performance and quickly rushed out an update. So make sure to update your graphics card drivers if you're using Nvidia. While new devices are usually quiet for November in the US, there was a couple notable announcements that took place abroad. Casino's G-Shock ring watch is coming to the United States in December. It's a tiny watch face that can be worn on your finger, and the new model has an adjustable strap. It's a kind of niche device, but if you really wanted to wear a digital clock on your finger, Casino's got you covered. And if anyone needs chargers, Belkin unveiled a 70-watt 3-port charger. It's notably lighter and $10 cheaper than the Anker model. On app and platform updates, YouTube is experimenting with a custom feed so users can tailor their homepage recommendations. They began testing a new feature called Your Custom Feed that lets users explicitly tell YouTube what they want to see. If you're in the experiment, a new custom feed tab will show up next to the home tab, and you can type in prompts or topics that you're interested in. It's an attempt to give users more control over the content that they see. It could be a game changer, and I personally think it's a great idea. Notably, YouTube isn't alone in this customizable feed thread. Instagram's Thread app has also been fine-tuning an algorithm testing feature. And X has also talked about using Gronk to help personalize feeds. Over at Meta, WhatsApp is still integrating AI into its messaging features. The company has been rolling out AI-generated message summaries. Using Meta's AI, it creates a bullet point summary of the messages that you missed. Meta promises that it uses private processing so the messages aren't viewable to anyone else. As for Instagram, one of the biggest moves has been its continued push of Threads. While Threads is still getting its footing, Instagram is rolling out a photo albums feature. And it's just in time for the holidays because it allows friends to collaborate with each other. And if you're an Instagram Reels user, you might realize that there's new editing tools and features in the newest app update. As for security, privacy, and tech policy, even during the holiday week, tech policy didn't take a break. One of the biggest developments is in the drone world. The US is on the verge of banning the DJI, the world's biggest manufacturer of drones. A looming law will ban them from importing any new drones to the United States. And this doesn't just cover drones, it covers anything that's made with a wireless radio by them. And the rationale is that US lawmakers cite national security concerns, stating that they could be compelled by the Chinese government to spy or hand over data. DJI has denied sharing this data. They've even offered to delete any US flight logs from servers in 2024. In the intersection of software and air travel, Airbus had to urgently ground and repair over 6,000 of its planes over the holiday weekend. The issue was a flight software bug that was potentially triggered by solar flares. Airbus revealed that the intense solar radiation could corrupt critical flight control data. Airbus had to release this major software update to over half of its A320 global fleet. Airlines had to pull the plane out of service just to install the software update. As for some fun closing notes, the numbers are in, and Black Friday shopping online hit a new record. Americans spent over $11.8 billion according to Adobe Analytics. That's roughly up 10% from last year. Despite the economic headwinds, Americans were out in full force. So if your wallet feels lighter, you're not alone. Well, that's it for this week's Tech News Recap. If I missed anything, make sure to drop a comment below and let me know. And hopefully you didn't spend too much on Black Friday. Anyways, I'll see you next week for the next Tech Roundup.